Alright. What the heck is going on, everybody? We've got SERRAL for Basilisk Gaming playing here in round 3, I believe, of the Masters Coliseum $42,000 tournament. It's the Swiss bracket stage where players are playing through that Swiss format. He's up against Solar in the bottom right side. Solar has bested SERRAL multiple times this year. Integral in the, I believe it was the Summer World Team League season earlier. Well, this year, sorry, the last year, I should say. The first half of 2023. Solar was incremental in defeating SERRAL there. He also defeated SERRAL at Gamers 8, I believe it was. So a couple of big tournaments he took him out in. But SERRAL has been looking on fire since then. Let's see if he can get it together and defend this. He's playing a normal 16 hatchery build from what I can see. And he's going to see the first Zerglings coming forwards. No drones with this. This is a 12-pool pressure build into an expansion, into a queen. This is a very standard old school pressure we don't ever see versus SERRAL, because he normally micros so well that he always gets way ahead. This is something I've said for many years. Solar's the one guy who has really good micro and decisiveness, picks the right map, and often bucks this trend. So he's going to try and damage the hatchery enough, force the drones to pull down here to defend. Wait, was this a 15 hatchery? Those lings feel like they're very early. Is it just me? Did he build his pool early? Oh man. The lings, the hatchery's taking a lot of damage. He's trying to distract the Zerglings. Solar not taking the bait. Solar's not taking the bait. He's still getting a lot of damage on the hatchery. That hatchery's taking a lot of damage. Oh, but he does take a good angle. Ling flank, drone surround, no escape. The drone's phasing to one side, then phasing to the other side. Oh, very, very well done. SERRAL loses a drone and 3 Zerglings. You are kidding me. Oh, but wait, he gets baited out. These lings are trying to snipe those weak drones. He wants to get those weak drones. Units lost tab. Might not look that bad, but remember, as Solar, I mean, you basically got mining time and damage to hatchery. That's not good. Dude, SERRAL's on 22 workers with 2 queens injecting. He's also got 100 gas and ling speed starting. Gas hasn't even started mining. This is like 2018. I remember people kept trying to 12 pull him and stuff in 2018 and the first half of that year, and SERRAL made it look so trash with defenses like we just saw. That he shut it down so regularly, so very regularly, that people just stopped doing it. Solar brings it back, and whilst I think sometimes the Spinecrawler Rush, the drone pool versions can work, that version apparently SERRAL is not impressed with at all. If you guys can remind me at the end of this game, I will try to rewind and watch the start just to check, like, hey, did he speed his pool up? Because I don't think he went 15-15. But maybe he went like a 17 pool, then gas, or something like that to be a little bit safer. Whereas if he just went 18 gas, 17 pool, then yeah, I mean, it was just very well timed spawning pool, instant Zerglings, and a great response. Evo Chamber goes down for Solar. Solar's not dead, but he definitely is on the back foot. His ling speed only now starting. SERRAL has, wait, why is he building 10 Zerglings? Solar? His ling speed just started. He can't do anything aggressive with these Zerglings yet, and yet he's massing them. Okay, so he's going to take a third, and he's going to ling flood a minute and a half from now when ling speed finishes. This is... Solar's like pretending to play a macro game. Queens to deny scouting at the front. Third hatchery is there, and he's just going for a giant ling flood. Problem for him, SERRAL's also ling flooding, but he actually has ling speed, so he might be able to get over there, cancel the third, run home, defend with roaches and lings. And that would be excellent for SERRAL. Roach Warren goes down for both players at a very similar time. Up 2 workers for SERRAL. And his lings are going to flood out. Oh my god, Solar doesn't see it. Oh, wait, he maybe saw it? Okay, I think Solar saw it. I do think Solar saw it. I'm not 100% sure though. Oh, losing that third hatchery would be a bit of a disaster. He's trying to come out himself right now to get a bit of an angle in the open with the queens and the lings to defend. That's a lot of Zerglings for SERRAL though. The queens pull, the lings pull back, the queens are tanking. Good choice to not fight there for SERRAL. You don't want to fight those queens. Queens are very tanky, and they add ranged damage output. Even a little bit of ranged damage in the back can be a big addition in a Zergling fight, because it allows you to stack extra damage on targets that are otherwise only getting hit by 1 or 2 Zerglings. +1 range on the way for SERRAL. +1 carapace is already on the way for Solar. Solar going across with 50 Zerglings, man! The queens and the roaches should help out on the D, though. SERRAL's lings are up front. I think pulling the lings back to let the roaches and queens tank is a better idea. Good micro by SERRAL. Ling run by trying to come in at the same time. He's going to focus drones down. Oh, goes in towards the mains. Great reaction by Solar. 2 lings pull back and a queen, and that should be able to defend this, especially with that micro. Lovely play by Solar. Solar's only on 39 workers against SERRAL. Oh, actually, he's up to 41. He's got a slight worker advantage. SERRAL's coming in there. 11 roaches, 26 zerglings behind this. Carapace is not done yet. The queen pulls back to the choke point. Nice pullback by Solar. SERRAL will get a drone. Does he get a second one? He gets 2 drones. Doesn't kill the queen, though. Loses quite a few zerglings for that. And the roaches turn around and run away. I feel like Solar maybe would have struggled if the roaches committed to the fight. Okay, SERRAL changes his mind. He's like, wait a second. I think I could fight. He's taking a bit long, though, dilly-dallying, just trying to scare him. Wait, he's still building more zerglings? Ooh, and he doesn't have carapace. So building lings right now is not optimal for SERRAL. SERRAL seems to be a little bit, I would say, flustered with the chaotic nature of this early game. Solar, on the other hand, he's like, dude, roach speed, +1 carapace. Let's try to squeeze a few drones out every now and then. Otherwise, just lots of roaches and get back into this scenario. But, oh, Solar, don't lose these lings. Get out of there, Solar. Oh, Solar should not be fighting right now. I think he thought the roaches might still be on his side of the map, but oh, a misclick with the lings as well. Units lost tab showing up there very much even for both sides, but SERRAL having small worker advantages, having a slightly faster third base does help him out. Solar's got the ling advantage as more lings come in. SERRAL does have to back out there, losing quite a few of these zerglings. Even though the top of the ramp looked like a good concave, that would have been broken. And we've now got ourselves a roach versus roach battle. Lings are left over from the early game. The carapace, which SERRAL definitely knows about, being able to click on these units. He's going to realize, okay, your lings are a little bit scarier, but your +1 range is way behind. SERRAL starts his own +1 carapace as well as a Hydroden. He's thinking it might be a Mutalisk swap because the roaches were so late. He's going to find out, no, this is just a roach build as well. Solar's just quite far behind. Zerglings chasing in the south. Nice little hiding maneuver for SERRAL to get away. Second Evo's on the way for SERRAL. +1 range now on the way for Solar. Solar's down 10 workers, but he has a 4th base on the way. SERRAL hasn't started one of those just yet. Overlord speed as well as Hydra upgrades starting up for SERRAL. A few Hydras in the back is never a bad idea. I don't think it's a high priority right now, but the reason he's doing this is, once again, he's just worried about Solar trying to make a Mutalisk comeback. He sees all those roaches now, and his +2 range starts for SERRAL. I would not be surprised yet to see him take a 4th base and basically just build pure roach. Don't even invest in the Hydras. He's going so many upgrades. Hydra upgrades, tunneling claws, burrow. And he's going to cost him a lot of army production, which is why Solar actually has more army than SERRAL right now. But of course, the upgrade advantage over time will massively favor SERRAL a few minutes from now when that all kicks in. Overseer scouting, he's like, okay, you still don't have a Spire. I think it's dawning on SERRAL that Solar is not going to build a Spire this game. It's just a roach versus roach battle. He's just playing super safe is SERRAL. Roaches catch some of those zerglings on the map, which is always nice. Units lost tab is in favor of Solar, in fact. Dropalord getting morphed. So SERRAL's going to do that famous 4 roach drop pressure that the players love to do these days. Ooh, he gets 2 drones. Super worth it for these zerglings. These units have hit their expiry date. And even hold position behind the mineral line, just making it annoying to clear up. Overlord here is on a nice patrol path. 3 or 4 path patrol paths, very hard to anticipate with Ravager Biles. Oh, if he biles that, perfectly. Bile there, bile there, bile there. There. Ah, he misses his opportunity. SERRAL probably would have been watching and blocked and dodged anyway, but you never know. Dark is the one who always goes for a Hail Mary. Solar, more of a high percentage player. Focuses on what he thinks will certainly work. 2-2's not done yet. It's 1-1 upgrades right now. Solar has a slight army advantage. Lings run into the main base. Oh, this could do big damage. Nice concave management on the 4th base, though, for SERRAL. Good pullbacks. SERRAL's Roach Drop runs in. The Spore Crawler and the defensive Roaches starting to shut that down. Oh, great dodges on the Biles. One of them finally lands for Solar. The Lings in the main are being cleaned up by the Roaches. Back on the front, both sides skirmishing. Neither side able to find big purchase. Tunneling Claw Roaches for SERRAL are going to run away from that main base. And Roaches here still facing off. Oh, a couple big Biles land. Solar's going to have to be careful. He's still down 7 workers. With +2 range about to kick in, SERRAL's Roaches are going to kick it up a gear and going to become much stronger units. Roaches unburrow in the main base. Looks like SERRAL did tell those to go back into the main after initially pulling back. I love the defensive burrow on the Queen for Solar. Big fight at the front. Both sides dodging the Biles. It's Bile. Try to catch your opponent off guard, but then pull back while microing elsewhere. Look back at the front, throw Biles, and then micro elsewhere. They keep doing that over and over. It's not a bad way to play. These Roaches hidden on this left side. Solar's going to find them over here, and he will be able to shut that down. Solar, eyes open, mate, and he will finally shut down SERRAL's roaches in the back of his base. Oh, SERRAL even took down the low hit point roach with focus fire. I love that attention to detail. SERRAL's overseer here is now following the roach army. Just right-click that on a roach. It will track exactly where he is. Roach Ravager hanging out on the defense. Lovely battle line for SERRAL. Bile attempts for Solar, not quite able to find the mark. Big roach run by coming in the fourth base. One spine crawler, not going to be able to handle that. SERRAL is a bit outnumbered on the front, so he's got to be very careful in the defense, but he defends the roach run by in the north. Only 3 drones go down. His own roach run burrow comes in. He will take out the spine crawler. Fourth base of Solar's in trouble right now. Fourth base of SERRAL seems like it has just enough units to hang on. And a few Hydras getting mixed in now as well. 2-2 upgrades finishing for SERRAL at almost the exact same moment that Solar gets +2 range. So it's just going to be 1 extra armor upgrade for SERRAL, but it's the worker advantage that he's building for himself. He's up 11 drones right now. That's a big advantage. Roach is moving into the main base. He's going to try and focus these drones down, see exactly what he can take out. Infestation Pit starts up. Hive starts up for Solar. So Solar's ahead on the Hive. Does it matter, though? He's only on 53 workers. He doesn't have that much mining. He's trying to remax on Roach Ravager as well. That Hive is almost a fake. It feels like Solar, with a 20 army supply lead, has to force a big fight, crush SERRAL's army, and do what he can. Those Biles misfiring very badly, trying to hit the Overlord. Solar has to calm down and stay focused right now. SERRAL with a counterattack on the right side. He's got a slight Roach advantage there and the upgrade advantage, so he does take the better fight. SERRAL unburrowing the back door. Those Roaches will go down. And not the best trade. Can he take advantage of it on the front, though? Not really, but he's keeping Solar pinned in his corner. SERRAL trying to fight over here on Solar's side of the map. He's got to be careful because he's outnumbered pretty massively. He wants to keep taking small trades so he can replace those units with his unlimited money. While Solar, he's got 1 giant army. He wants 1 big, awesome fight to win this game. Hasn't been able to find it yet. Solar's Roach is in the middle of the map. He's going to try and drop a Bile, try to ambush those units, but he's so outnumbered. It turns into a bad spot for him. SERRAL taking those Roaches out with ease in the north. We've got Roach Ravager moving forward. Solar trying to fight back in this game. SERRAL's bank is growing. Solar is on a timer right now. He's refusing to rebuild drones. He needs to find an advantage, but despite having Roach number advantage, he's stumbled into a few poor fights. SERRAL with the Biles, the Hydra line as well, adding extra damage output. Great defensive setup there for SERRAL. On the left side, Solar tries to find his way in, but the Roaches and the Overseer are ready. They will ambush this. We'll get a shot of that in just a moment. For now, the Roach Hydra Ravager on the right skirmishing. And look at that. Catches the Roaches. Gets rid of one of them. Another one almost goes down. Ooh, good defensive Biles. He's got to protect these Ravagers while they're morphing. Remember, they take 12 seconds to morph now. He has to cancel it. SERRAL pushing him back. Look at the money. Because it's been a series of small fights, none of which have gone really well for Solar. In fact, Solar's down 4,000 resources. Guys, even if you're down an armor upgrade, that does not account for this. It's simply SERRAL is picking better fights despite having less army. And now that Solar's run completely dry on money, he's down 10 workers and he's down 10 army supply. SERRAL is permanently maxed with a growing bank. He's got 3-3 on the way. His Roach is happy to take anything approximating an even trade because he knows he is miles ahead right now. This is massive. Roach Ravager Hydra doing very well. Roach is running in. Oh, dude, he split them up. He's got Roaches in the fourth and the third at the same time. At the front, he pushes, lands some Biles, gets a few of those cocoons to cancel. Nice moves by SERRAL, keeping things so difficult for Solar in this game. It's just constant pressure in 3 places at once. Nearly impossible for Solar to find a good fight. Solar finally deals with the Roaches in the south. Up here, though, SERRAL, the moment that fight turns south, he pulls back and he says, guess what? I just killed another 10 drones. You're even more broke than before. I'm going to wait for the next 20 Roaches to pop, and then we're going to go again. Round 2. Solar desperately trying to remax on Roach Ravager, but he's been stuck here for a long time. He has what we call a Fool's Hive. A Fool's Hive is a hive that you get, and by the time it finishes, you don't have money to build any hive tech. There's no money for Vipers, no money for Ultras, no money for Lurkers. Solar is stuck on Roach Ravager, and it's a hard position to be in because look at the way SERRAL's just dodging Biles, keeping him back. Oh, SERRAL with a bit of a weird angle here. Okay, SERRAL with some odd positioning. Oh, he wanted to come in with the surround. Brings in the army from the south and the north. Finally closes with those Ravagers and does shut it down. Really well played there in game 1 for SERRAL. Let's quickly check his build order. Was it a faster hatchery than normal, or is he just perfect down to the second on his build order, which I think is probably the case. Yep, it's an 18 gas, 17 pool, guys. 18 gas, 17 pool, but he builds it right on a minute 13. Immediately builds Zerglings, and just defended flawlessly. It's about as perfect a defense as you could ask for. Solar's 12 pool really did not work out, and he was on the back foot from then. All right. Game 2 here. Basilisk Serral looked great in game 1. And after that defense, I don't think he's feeling any fear. He did struggle with versions where Solar went straight all in. I believe it was in the WTL where Solar got him with like a drone pool version, and one way he got him with a 13 gas 12 pool, like, or I think it was 12 gas 11 pool, just a really fast one base Ling Bane. We'll see exactly how it works out on Solaris, Solar's map, the one that he won the GSL on. What's the status of marijuana in Australia, says Waterboy. It is now medically legal in my state. I don't know about the rest of the country, but you do need a prescription. Give us a couple years, I imagine they'll probably legalize, start making some money, rather than letting the bikey gangs keep it all. You know, easier to tax legal stuff. They'll probably be doing that, I would imagine. Both sides are putting on gas here, so they do pull a worker off minerals to get on gas straight away. So they're both looking for a quick ling speed. I would imagine. Like, usually that indicates the players are going to go ling speed straight away, pull a worker off gas, make a Baneling nest at 2 minutes 46, 2 minutes 47. And knowing these two, I would say likely to see light ling bane pressure on each side. But SERRAL especially is prone to building 12 Zerglings, sitting purely defensive with them, just trying to block enemy scouting. Whereas Solar, I would say, is the more likely player to either lean into it and go 20 or 30 Zerglings and really put heavy pressure on, or to be very greedy and build just a couple defensive Banelings, nothing else except them and the Queens, and try to drone up and get an advantage that way. So I think SERRAL's much more likely to sit back off of this opening. Solar more likely to push hard into the aggression or the defense. Solar is a specialist at killing people with Roach Baneling as well. So we'll see what happens there. Third hatchery goes down. They're both expanding linearly. That's going to be... Okay. Yeah, we're going to find out very shortly. Baneling Nest on 246 for SERRAL. Baneling Nest 247 for Solar. Yeah, this is looking like this is like the most stock standard opening. We'll find out if anyone has a variation from this. SERRAL went for his Overlord a little earlier. So he wants... Whereas Solar squeezed in 2 more drones. Both sides are building an extra pair of Zerglings. Watch that production tab. SERRAL building a few more lings. That's standard 12 defensive Zerglings. Oh, he's building 12 actually. 16 total Zerglings. And he goes for another Overlord after that. Solar playing the economy. Yeah. So Solar's trying to play 10 Zerglings into economy. He sees a few more Zerglings coming out. This should tip him off that something's coming. Solar sees these lings leaving the base. Already morphing 2 Banelings. They are out in the open, but I think that's okay. These 2 lings going to try and lure the enemy away. He will see Banelings morphing on the front for SERRAL. And SERRAL's going straight to the 3rd base. I think that's a pretty good choice, as it is very exposed. Now, SERRAL's going back to droning behind this, and Solar himself is making a ton of Zerglings and Banelings to try and defend. 2 Zerglings try to sneak into the main base, but Solar splits off a few lings to chase after it. Nice micro there for Solar. Ooh, Banelings. Neither side willing to take an even trade there. Looks like the 2 Zerglings in the main do get cleaned up. Solar already lost 2 Zerglings in this game. Roach Warren and a 2nd gas go down for SERRAL. These look like safety precautions to me. I don't think he'll commit hard to a big Roach attack, but that does remain to be seen. A few more Zerglings being built for SERRAL so far. Solar hiding some Zerglings in the far north of the map. The Overlord vision's pretty good for SERRAL, but I would argue that this Overlord should be up and to the left more to make sure he sees those Zerglings leaving the base. He's going to scout with the lings. He's trying to see, is this a big all-in? But he sees the Roach Warren's not crazy early. He also sees drones popping out. That's huge. Seeing drones popping out is massive. SERRAL is actually committing to his own Roach Baneling. Okay. 8 Roaches on the way. He's already got a lot of Ling Bane. He cannot let him scout, though. Ooh, Evo Chamber gets spotted. Is that enough? He's pulling back from his 3rd base as SERRAL. So SERRAL sees a ton of Ling Bane coming, and he backs away from his 3rd, runs every drone away. And now he's pushing out with the Roaches. Interesting. The drones on his 3rd were fake drones, but he doesn't want to risk losing them. So he pulls them back. He's got to watch out for those Banelings. Those Banelings will look to intercept his Zerglings. SERRAL's building 5 Overlords. This is a massive supply block. I guarantee you he's shaking his head in disappointment right now. That supply block is terrible. And it kind of forces him to play defensive now, but he's already down 10 workers. Solar built a few roaches thinking, oh, I'm getting attacked. And then he's going, oh, no, I'm not. Let's go back. I reckon we'll see Solar go back to droning. Find out in a moment with his next round of production. But actually, he's still building roaches for now. Lings of SERRAL do find a few drones on this base. Going to take out 2 of them, make it 3. Well worth it. Lair is almost finished right now for Solar. His Evo Chamber, though, is much later. He's playing the laser style, where you focus on droning and building roaches, and you delay your upgrades. That will give SERRAL an advantage in the long term. Ooh, Spire already on the way in the back. Ling gets into the main base, sees that SERRAL's lair is not finished yet, which means he's got a while till he gets scouted. Zergling will get cleaned up before it can get a roach kill. Lings could run into the natural in the main, though. If SERRAL runs in right now and gets a scout off, this would be massive. Overlords drop trousers and do start to unload over there. For most life forms, this would be pretty disgusting if someone else in the military did that to you. But in the Zerg military, that's basically a friend giving you a hug. Bit of nourishment, speeding up those roaches' movements. And it's like having a hot shower after a long day, long sweaty day at work. Melee upgrade on the way as well. Solar's going to play full Mutiling Bane. Oh, wow. He's not even going back to roaches. He's just making roach speed because he's already built 14 roaches, and that's it. Ling Bane trying to push back those Zerglings. Overseer coming in for SERRAL. SERRAL's, he's going to find out eventually, but it might not be till the Mutalisks pop. And that's really bad. Ooh, Banelings do take out a few Zerglings. Nothing too crazy there. SERRAL sees 6 gases mining. He doesn't know if the second gas got taken in the main. That's actually the more important piece of information. He's not actively microing either. Overseer for Solar's getting Hydroden goes down. SERRAL knows, or at least senses what's going on. He's gotten an inkling. Remember, he built a safety Hydroden in the previous game because he knows that Solar might do this. But I think Mutiling Bane destroys Hydras. You actually want to go Infestation Pit, get a few Infestors out. Fungal is very good for stopping Lingbane Muta from crushing through you. And then you want to defend a 4th base. And that definitely not that 4th base. That 4th base is so far spread. You need a Creep Tumor up here. He's going to put a few Roaches up there to try and defend it, which is a good choice. Mutas have shown themselves. Spores are building right now. Overlord's trying to pull back for SERRAL. He does have Overlord speed. No, he cancelled it. He cancelled Overlord speed. He's building Hydralisks right now, but he doesn't have any Hydra upgrades. Oh, he wants the mobility to defend that northern base. It's been such a Muta back into Roach meta for such a while. I don't think SERRAL realizes this is Mutiling Bane yet. His Roaches will run north to defend the 4th, but this is kind of a trap. Solar just backs away and is like, are you sure you want to defend that? And as soon as your ground army runs away, he'll go back in. I think this 4th base is a trap for SERRAL, but he seems dead set on trying to defend it. Muta Hydralisk tries to come north. The Hydra Queen are getting taken out by those Mutas. The Mutas are destroying this. Oh, SERRAL trying to defend this 4th base. It was not the right idea, and it's costing him big time. He does at least focus down the weak Mutas, but look at how much damage he's taken. Hydra upgrade is now on the way. 4th base does get killed, not cancelled. That's 300 minerals down the drain. Oh, look at that unit's lost up, steadily going in the way of Solar. +2 range is on the way. You actually really want Carapace, more than +2 range, when you're facing Lingbane Muta. The reason is, armor is amazing against Muta bounces. It's amazing against Zergling attacks. You only need the +1 range to 2-shot those Zerglings. Unless they have a Carapace upgrade, which is pretty rare. If they have +1 Carapace, +2 range becomes important. Solar does not have that, though. SERRAL stuck on 3 base. 66 workers. Solar has done this excellently. He disguised what he was doing so well. Completely caught SERRAL off guard, and SERRAL trying to defend that 4th base is costing him massively. The Mutalisks are literally just straight up fighting against the Hydras. Hydras are not that great against Mutalisks, especially when they've been massing them for this long. You already lost your early Queens and Hydras. The Mutas destroying the Roaches. That's GG. There's no way. There is no way. SERRAL got completely blindsided by those Mutalisks, and then he was a bit too slow to adapt to the fact that that was actually Lingbane Muta, not Mutas back into Roaches. Solar tricks him and ties up the series. Up in the top left, Basilisk SERRAL now. It's tied up 1-1. That big supply block on 74 while trying to do his, what could have turned into like a Roachling Bane all-in, but then he couldn't rally to reinforce it, so he kind of had to back out and go back to droning. Didn't work. Solar handled that really well, though, and him going into Mutalisks was fantastic. Hit it nicely. Got the upgraded Zerglings, still built a good amount of Roaches, and he used them well. Like, he's like, okay, I got to build some Roaches to be safe. So he really gave off the impression of a Roach versus Roach game. Previous game, where there were no Mutalisks, SERRAL was kind of convinced there was going to be Mutalisks. And then in the game where there are Mutalisks and it's actually pure Mutaling Bane, SERRAL is more focused on the roaches. So you know, it's kind of interesting. Solar seems to have SERRAL guessing a little bit, but both sides are playing the exact same opening on hard lead. Now, for those who don't know, lead is actually a very soft metal. It's a heavy metal, but it's very soft. And that's because science is a lie, guys. If you read the Bible of Pig, things are actually consistent. Unlike science, which is just things made up by guys in lab coats with important sounding jobs and degrees. If you mix the lead with other stuff, then it does become hard, though. Much like me when I'm watching these two play StarCraft. That was some low-hanging fruit. But what can I say? My fruit is hanging high after watching these games usually, so we'll see what happens in Game 3. It is, of course, a Swiss round here in the Masters Coliseum. $42,000 tournament, so I don't think either player would be eliminated after winning or losing this match, anything like that, but we'll see how it goes. Apparently, if the temperature's low enough, lead does get quite hard. So if we put the lead out on one of those cold planets, I don't know much about space. Venus? Is Venus cold? I feel like Venus would be very cold. Or is that one of the hot ones? I don't know. Alright. Zerglings kind of dodge each other in the middle of the map. We'll see what happens here. Third base for both sides. Wait. They both pulled one off gas, right? Yes, they did. So one off gas. This looks identical to the last game. It is a proper mirror matchup. Ling's pulling to the left side right now. All right, both sides just scouting each other. Bailey Nest at identical timings once again. The age of people delaying that Bailey Nest by a few extra seconds to be greedy and then losing their third base to Zergling seems to be over. We don't see Ling Floods to snipe third bases very often anymore. You're going to pressure, you need Banelings, you need Zerglings, and it's often about trying to sneak Lings into the main base while pressuring the third. Venus is even hotter than Mercury. Okay, I don't know, guys. Jupiter? Is there a cold planet in our solar system? Aren't they all cold? I don't know. Ling's pulling to the left. Gonna try and pull back and circle a little bit. A few more Zerglings coming out right now for SERRAL. SERRAL goes for a very quick Roach Horn. It has not been scouted by the Overlord. SERRAL also gets in for a scout. He sees the Roach Horn on the other side, which is even faster than his. Solar is famous on this map for killing SERRAL and Raynor and a few other Zergs with a Roach attack that kills the third. A very fast Roach attack. Behind, I think was he doing that behind Baneling aggression? Or was it just behind Zerglings even? He might have even skipped the Banelings, but he was doing some really fast attacks. I think often he'd do like a bit of a Ling Flood, and then he would build a Baneling Nest and a Roach Horn both around the same time, and follow up with a bit of a Roach Bane. This looks more like a macro game. Solar is building 5 Roaches now, but that to me has the smell of a fake. Yeah, and indeed, more drones do come out. So SERRAL, he's building nothing but Lings, Banes, and drones, so he's going to get a slight drone lead, but when he sees these Roaches, he might overreact. Because remember, SERRAL, he's always in a heightened state of awareness. This is the moment, we're on his vision right now. He sees Roaches. He sees a few drones on the third. He's got to confirm. He's got to confirm how committed this is. He's building his own Roaches, building his own Overlords, but he's not panicking. He's not building Spine Crawlers. And I think he's correct. Yeah, he sees an Evo Chamber building. He's already gone back to droning after just 5 Roaches. Wow, the confidence, that read for SERRAL. Fantastic scouting for SERRAL. And the Roaches indeed do turn around. He sensed it was just 5 Roaches. So if SERRAL kept building Roaches and built like 10, 12 Roaches, obviously he'd be quite far behind in drones. And you can see, well, he is a little behind in drones. But keep in mind, he's about half a cycle behind. So when these 8 drones finish up, you know, the numbers get a little bit closer. And I think overall, all things considered, it is pretty much a dead even game. They both have their third mineral line saturated. That's the most important thing. If one guy's on only 8 workers on the third, the other one has 16, that's a really big advantage. But a head start in the gas, for instance, not that important. SERRAL up about 15 seconds with his +1 attack. Spire goes down for Solar. Now, this is not a Ling Bane muter build. This is just a handful of muters back into mass Roach play. This is what SERRAL was expecting in Game 1 and Game 2 as well, actually. He's been expecting this pretty much every game. To a certain extent, he was always going Hydras. Okay, Overseer getting pushed back. Those tuning in live, exclamation mark bracket for the games. This is the Swiss round stage of the Masters Coliseum 7 $42,000 tournament. Very important Overlord speed scout. This is huge. Overlord speed gets in there before the Spire finishes, gives him an extra good 45 seconds or more before those Mutalisks can arrive. About a minute probably before the Mutas can arrive. Because the Mutas take about 30 seconds to build. You got to fly him across the map as well. Second Evo chamber and a Hydra Den on the way. He's already got 3 bases up with a 4th. Your job now is to just defend this 4th. SERRAL needs to just basically build roaches, add some Hydras, get his double upgrades going, and he should be in a pretty good spot. Now, of course, you're only building 6 Mutalisks. It's not a massive investment, including the Spire. It's 850 minerals, 800 gas. That includes the drone that built the Spire as well, of course. And that's going to push back SERRAL's Overlords. You can kill this Overseer in the back, which he does fine straight away. You can maybe catch this Overlord on the left. A few more in the middle, and really you're just getting map control, forcing him into those Hydras and that sort of stuff as well. Now, SERRAL hasn't started +2 range, so if you can quickly start +2 range, that would be ideal. Man, look how fast speed Overseers are. That guy might even get out of there. It's going to be close. No, he should go down. Good micro by Solar there, making sure those Mutalisks clean that up. Does have an Overlord under the Spore Crawler, though. Spore Crawlers do a crazy amount of damage. You got to be careful, mate. Oh, losing that Overlord. Unfortunate. Solar's up on supply right now. Oh, Solar's going for it. Solar's going for it. Oh, SERRAL's caught building. Well, he's building a drone. Solar going for a massive +1 roach attack, saying, hey, I forced Spore Crawlers, I forced Queens, I've forced Hydras. None of those are that good at defending a roach shove right now. Wow, that is a crisp roach shove for Solar. Beautiful play by him. Roach Ravager trying to pull back right now. He's trying to fall back. He is up 20 supply. He doesn't want to take a bad fight. Okay, yeah, he's going to pull back. That was more of defensive bile than anything else. The Mutalisk count, there are still 5 Mutas. One of them has gone down. He's going back in. He dives in on the front. Oh, if he can focus down the Hydras, that'll be big. A bit too clumped on that, bit too easy to spread. You want to spread those biles across, but notice SERRAL already focused down most of the Ravagers, and Solar has to back off for the moment. He's got to wait for that next round of Roaches, which they are coming forward. Mutalisks doing damage in the main base, both sides on a very similar work account. 2 drones do go down to the bounce, make it 3. The Extractor is also effectively another drone kill, and the 25 minerals that go into it. So, very effective usage of those Mutalisks. SERRAL survives, though, which is the important thing for now. Can he hang on longer? Because Solar's still got that supply advantage. Keep in mind, 12 of his army supply advantage is in, or 10, sorry, is in Mutalisks. They're not the most effective unit. I like that he's got some Roaches on the right. He should probably bring those back to his main army now. Breaking these rocks as well, just to give himself extra options of where he can attack. SERRAL trying to monitor everywhere at once. Now, SERRAL's +2 is a good 40 seconds ahead of his. It does make a big difference. Mutalisks bouncing around looking for an opening. Roaches run in, Roaches run out. Big Roach Ravager shove on the front. Great move for Solar. He catches a bunch of Hydras exposed at the front. The Mutalisks even committing as well. He's going for it. He's going hard. Go hard or go home. SERRAL has a Carapace. SERRAL's Carapace upgrade is helping out, though that does really weigh in big. The Ravager Bile does land decently, but SERRAL's numbers are so low. Is Mutalisk taking damage from the Spore? The Spore and the Hydras clean up the last Mutalisks. The Roach line crumbling for SERRAL. His Hydras coming out and not the optimal unit for this point. Oh no, he's losing all of his Hydras. That being said, Solar overcommits maybe? I don't know. There's one Roach in the north. It's dead even on the workers. When +2 finishes, that's going to be very important, because right now, that 2-1 against +1, it's very bad upgrades for Solar. If Solar keeps fighting right here, it's bad. He's got to wait for that +2 upgrade. I also wouldn't mind him droning a little bit more and just going for a bit more multi-prong rather than forcing the issue, because it's not like he's behind in the macro game. But he's been kind of headbutting for a little bit, and he even threw his Mutalisks away, which means now SERRAL gets more map vision. I think keeping those Mutalisks alive would have been very valuable, because now you can't surprise him, you can't catch him off guard. He sees that you're splitting up for a giant attack. Going with +2 attack against +2-1. SERRAL with a slight advantage. Solar has the momentum in terms of army supply. Is it enough? SERRAL runs forward and focuses down 2 Ravagers. SERRAL's Ravager focus fight. He gets another one. Dude, SERRAL just focused down like 5 Ravagers. He even ran Roaches in for the right. He killed all of Solar's Ravagers, really taking advantage of just how much more fragile they are, being 25 less hit points than a normal Roach. Dude, I haven't seen someone focus Ravagers down quite so well when they've got a Roach line in front of them before. Solar needed to move those Roaches back, but SERRAL The Roach Burrow Micro allowing his units to survive a little bit longer. Oh my god, he holds. He holds. He's got the army supply advantage for the first time in the last 3 minutes of this game. And SERRAL defends his fourth. He's got the +2/1, so he's got the +1 carapace upgrade advantage. And he's got a few Hydras getting mixed in as well. Solar can still transition. Solar could go Infestation Pit, go Hive, but he is playing the headbutt game. He's playing the Sue style of Zerg vs. Zerg. Me make Roach Ball, me smush my ball into your ball. Problem is, SERRAL's not using a ball, he's using a concave. He's setting up an arc, a firing line, and attacking into that. The ball of units is always going to take the inferior battle. He's now behind in the momentum. Solar takes a bad fight there. He's down 17 army supply. SERRAL, though, cautiously waiting for the correct angle. Hydras will push back that Overseer, potentially even sniping it if Solar's not quick. Ooh, nice stutter step. Gets it. Gets rid of the changelings as well. Solar tries to punish him for that by coming forwards. These Hydras don't have the movement speed upgrade, but they will add some really nice damage in the back. Bio lands on a single Roach and having to pull back from that. Solar still on Mass Roach. He had 66 drones, Mass Roach or die trying. But he has not been able to find a way into SERRAL's fortress. I feel like if this vision wasn't here and he had the Mutalisk arrive, he could sneak Roaches into the natural. You know, run 12 Roaches in there, then run in the front, catch SERRAL in the midst of trying to split his army, catch him being forced to react. He's trying to do that now, but SERRAL sees it. He sees it the moment it starts, so there's no surprises here. It's just a matter of reaction speed, and trying to catch SERRAL with slow reaction speed is not a very, very good choice, because he is one of the fastest players in the game. Of course, we do say his speed is very good, but it's more his intelligence, his planning, and that sort of stuff that really makes him the greatest player of all time. Infestation Pit, 3/4 of the way done. SERRAL's going to start getting towards Hive. He's thinking about taking a 5th base as well. 5th base is, of course, on the way for Solar. Not all of the Overlords had patrol paths. One of them does get biled down. Oh, great move. Great move. The whole army's on the other side of the map. Nothing more annoying than getting hit by a backstab when you don't have any units in production. Nothing at home to defend. Everything's on the other side of the map. Roach Burrow does go down to try and keep those units alive a little bit longer. 7 drones for 3 Roaches is a great trade. And in fact, he kept 2 alive, which Solar has not dealt with just yet. Roach is getting pushed back. SERRAL does eat his own corrosive bile. On the right side, the army gets pushed back over there as well. SERRAL is just taking better fights. This is the thing SERRAL does, where it's like, okay, he's ahead. Can he go kill him? So many Zergs just counterattack, throw away their lead, and then the other guy counterattacks, throws away their lead. SERRAL just keeps looking for good fights. There is no point where, oh, I need to attack or oh, I need to defend, turns into a desperate headbutt and he throws away half of his army. SERRAL's just like, no, I'm still going to fight correctly. I'm still going to, follow the combat manual on how to take a good engagement, essentially. And most players get a little bit more instinctive, and sometimes they try to force it, and the killer instinct is kind of misleading them, and they're headbutting to their doom. Units Lost tab tells us a big story of this game. Look at that, man. 3,000 resources lost. Advantage for SERRAL. He's up 5 workers. He has a 5th base in the top right. Hive and Lurkiden on the way. Hive and Lurkiden's on the way for Solar as well. But Solar is a mid-game specialist, an early-game specialist in this matchup. How much practice does he really have in the late game? I've seen Solar in Dark play, guys. There's 2 guys punching each other in the face while having their guard down. Both right hands land on each other at the exact same time, and the winner's decided by whoever comes conscious first after that. It's a crazy knife fight in a phone booth. Sometimes they do play macro games, but not as much as SERRAL a laser. Not as much as SERRAL Lambo, not as much as SERRAL up against Raynor as well. Even though Raynor does tend to keep the action a little bit higher, it's all those games against Lambo and a laser that he's playing all the time that I think keeps SERRAL incredibly crisp. In the late game of this matchup, one of the most feared late game players historically. He's moved away from that being the only thing he focuses on to being good at pretty much every area of the game, but he's still got that experience. Oh, big Biles land for Solar. That was a good catch. All right, bit of an awkward position here. Upgrades are even now, 2-1 against 2-1. No Hydra upgrades for Solar, though. So if he tries to go Hydra Viper, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Big Ravager Roach move for Solar. Let's see what he can do here. SERRAL's going to try to come forward. Does he focus the Ravagers again? He's been big on that so far. For now, he's just trying to evade the Biles. But look at that. You see the way the Roaches move forward. He's trying to focus those Ravagers down. The Ravagers try to pull back this time around. Solar's aware of that maneuver, but he's outnumbered. The Roach Hydra moving forward. SERRAL closing the gap. He's got the numbers on top of him. SERRAL says, you may have denied a bunch of my big championship runs this year. You may have been a thorn in my side, But you know what lions do to thorns? They literally rip it out with their teeth. None of this I need a mouse to pull it out. Serral's like, I'm a lion. I can just rip it out with my own teeth. I don't care if it makes me bleed a little bit. I'm gonna heal. I'm the king of the goddamn jungle. I guess, is it really the jungle? Wouldn't Tiger be the king of the jungle? The king of the savannah. The plains. I don't know. Anyways, Roach Ravager hanging out over here on the right side. Solar is down 30 army supply. He's in big trouble. Oh, and he gets surrounded. Big encirclement coming in. I like the way he breaks the northern flank. But Serral's happy to kill the base as well. Solar doesn't have the numbers. Roaches were hitting him on the front at the same time. And Serral weathers the storm, barely hanging on against the mass roach attack after the mutas. And from there, slowly building advantages until he gets the victory. Very well played by Serral.